Everybody has at least one movie that they remember from their childhood. If you had younger siblings, you probably remember them playing one specific movie on a continuous loop. For me, this was the Bratz movie. I could not tell you how much I wish for the ghastly DVD to be scratched or broken. But I can assure you, Uncle Dave and his dodgy dealings would pirate another one if it did get broken. Thanks, Dave. So, today's video, we are taking a look at 10 childhood movies only the cool kids watched. And no, the Bratz movie is not on the list. Let me know what movies you remember from your childhood in the comments. Let's get it done. The B movie.
Oh, I can't do it. Come on. No, yes, no. Do it. I can't. How should I start it? You like jazz?
This movie sees Barry B. Benson, a bee who has just graduated, faced with the daunting job of choosing his lifelong career, which he will continue to do until the day he perishes. He then finds himself suing humans after rebelling and breaking the #1 rule of bee law. Absolutely no talking to humans. Despite the dislike towards this movie, I think it is a masterpiece, with a message still relevant to this day and will continue to be relevant for centuries. Now, with a score of 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb, you'd think this movie is not great, but interestingly, it made $293.5 million at the box office, almost doubling its budget. I would say that's pretty good. One fact I learned while researching this movie was that male bees can't sting, and only females are capable of stinging. This promotes the question, is Barry's friend, Adam Flayman, a female, as he stings Mr. Montgomery? Monster House. The next one on the list today is possibly the pinnacle of children's horror movies for those too young or too scared to watch an adult horror movie. Unless you are my sibling, who managed to get this banned in our house on the grounds of it was too scary. Thanks, bro. The film Monster House seems to have just passed as PG by the skin of its teeth after having to change Chowder's line, DJ you piss in bottles, to you pee in bottles. This wasn't the only change that was made to the movie to help maintain its PG rating. The characters that were eaten by the house had to be shown re-emerging at the end of the movie. For anyone with young horror fans, this is a great watch, and was a classic in my childhood, until it was banned, of course. Definitely one to watch if you haven't seen this. Robots. Robots. I love robots. This movie was great. It follows an aspiring inventor robot called Rodney Copperbottom. This son of a dishwasher dreams of going to the big city and working as an inventor for his idol Bigweld at Bigweld Industries. I love when movies change something from the real world to suit the movie or to make a more child-friendly movie. An example of this is when the parents have baby Rodney. The young inventor is shown to be delivered in a box, replacing the obvious birthing of the son out of the mother.
But it's okay. Making the baby's the fun part.
On said box, it also shows the weight being 3.5 kilograms. This translates to 7 pounds, 11 ounces, around the same weight as a baby in real life. As well as a gripping story and a cringe lesson to us kids to never give up on our dream, it also did well to keep us laughing and rewinding Aunt Fanny's fart scenes. This classic will never get old and will always make me laugh, even as an adult. If you missed this one as a kid, I suggest you go and catch up to the rest of us. The Haunted Mansion. Another movie in the horror genre, and a forgotten treasure, from Eddie Murphy. The Haunted Mansion didn't do too well with people, and had a rating of just 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. How dare people give this classic such a disgusting rating? Disgusting! With Halloween just round the corner, I encourage you to watch this 2003 family horror comedy and tell me it's not great and nobody in your family enjoyed it. This movie is based on the Disney theme park attraction of the same name, and was the first film to air on the Disney Channel to contain any profanity besides hell or damn. It also contained the phrase big ass termites. If you remember this movie from your childhood, you were a cool kid. Next, on our list today, we come to a movie I really haven't watched or heard of in a long time. Casper the Friendly Ghost is a movie I watched, but I also played the video games. I'm just not entirely sure whether I played Casper, Friends Around the World, on PlayStation 1, or Casper, Spirit Dimensions, on the GameCube. If you remember Casper the movie, or playing the video games, let me know in the comments. Barnyard. Barnyard was a 2006 movie that I have recently discovered was actually a TV series. I could not believe my eyes when I found out I had missed a TV series of one of my favorite movies. A small Easter egg you may have missed in the movie is the book that Otis puts in the farmer's hand is Charlotte's Web, which became Nickelodeon Movie's next film. I finally understand this man. Here's the clip.
Randall, there is a cow outside.
There's a cow farm. You're gonna find cows outside.
Stuart Little. Tell me at least one of my subscribers has watched the adventures of this mouse and wished for a talking, plane-flying mouse too. Fortunately, for the mouse population, I did not get one, and that was probably for the best. But let me tell you, if any of you guys have seen the YouTube channels where they build adventure escape, assault courses for their pets, I bet a left nut they watched Stuart Little when they were younger. Interestingly, in the novel, Stuart was a humanoid in mouse form born to the Littles. This was changed in the movie to an actual mouse that was born to mice, but adopted by the Littles. Lady and the Tramp, Scamps Adventure. With this one, I seem to have stumbled across my own Mandela effect, because I don't remember this film being called Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamps Adventure. Anyway, this 2001 film is sequel to the original movie from 1955. Yes. Apparently, as cool kids go straight to watching the second movie. This movie sees Scamp escape after making a mess. He then meets the junkyard dogs, and you get the idea. If you have seen the film, you know how it goes. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it after this. But be careful, it may leave you wanting to reenact the spaghetti scene with your own dog. Probably best I don't have a dog right now, otherwise we'll be eating spaghetti tonight. George of the Jungle 2. It would be very sad to see people not share this next one, and if I'm honest, it took me a while to find, due to thinking it was called Tarzan. George of the Jungle 2 was a film we all loved. It was always great seeing the villain fall into a giant elephant turd. But once again, as cool kids like to start at number 2. While refreshing my memory on this film, I learned that not only was it a sequel, but the actor Brendan Fraser played George in the first movie, and Christopher Showerman played George in the second movie. What makes this movie fairly unique is the way it was narrated and the way that some of the characters interact with the narrator. One example of this is when the character George tells the narrator he is played by Christopher Showerman because the studio was too cheap to pay for Brendan Fraser. Now, after this, I think I owe it to my childhood to go back and watch the first one. Jumanji. Last but not least, on the list today, is a classic that has been remade since, but we are sticking with the one I watched when I was a child. Jumanji from 1995. Robin Williams is an actor we can all agree has been a major part of our childhoods, acting in many films such as The Night at the Museum and Jumanji. This movie is about two kids finding and playing a magical board game. They release a man, trapped in the game for decades, and many other dangers that can only be stopped by finishing the game. I'm sure most people watching this video have seen the 1995 Jumanji. If you haven't, you are missing out. It's no wonder, us kids that grew up watching these movies on today's list have a determination to follow our dream just like Rodney Copperbottom, and fight for our rights just like Barry B. Benson. With a hint of obsessiveness over abandoned houses and a hounding fear of going into the loft because you heard drums playing. These movies made our childhoods. If I have missed any, leave a comment and I might do a part 2. Don't forget to subscribe.